I, Dr. Rakhi Sharma, host for today, welcome all change makers who believe in creation of jobs and developing entrepreneurial mindset to the Startup Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Idea Stage Entrepreneurs, which is jointly organized by Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University's Research Incubation Foundation Center, Institutions Innovation Council, in collaboration with Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startup Forum, IES Forum. To give a brief insight about IES Forum, I invite Mr. Sanjay Jagtap, who is a head of ED Cell, DST, NEMAT Coordinator, Assistant Professor Maths, JCPM's ICOER Pune, and convener of IES Forum to give welcome address. Mr. Sanjay Jagtap, over to you.
Share the PPT.
Mr. Sanjay.
Hello. Hi,
Yes.
Rakhi ma'am. Hello.
Please
Yes,
proceed.
Mr. Sanjay.
Yes, I will begin. Network issue. I will begin. Welcome all students, faculty, industry professionals, and the budding entrepreneurs for the 2 days virtual workshop on Startup Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Idea Stage Entrepreneurs. Let us begin with Innovation and Entrepreneurship Startup Forum. On behalf of faculty and the eminent members of IES Forum, I will introduce about Innovation and Entrepreneurship and Startup Forum. IES Forum is an initiative of faculty from various institutes from different cities across Maharashtra. Startup founders, mentors, incubation managers, and the industry professionals who are passionate and interest to strengthen innovation and startup ecosystem. IES Forum is a community of individuals and with entrepreneurial thinking and professionals who want to learn more, share more, and be an instrument of positive transformation for budding entrepreneurs. The idea behind IES Forum is to establish a network-based forum which facilitates various innovation, leadership, and business development practices to all the stakeholders, which will boost the startup ecosystem. Our vision is to develop entrepreneurship forum which can imbibe leadership, innovation, and business development practices among stakeholders to generate social impact. With this vision, and our mission is to provide all kind of support and strengthen the startup and innovation sales, incubation center, and entrepreneurship development center at every institute by conducting innovative programs in collaboration. Our mission is to develop passion and spirit among the students and the faculty to pursue entrepreneurship. Our core values, the IES Forum believes that our actions to fulfill our mission. We believe in creativity, trust, passion, leadership, excellence, ethics, integrity, and responsibility. With this vision and missions, we are from the beginning of IES Forum, we are implementing various initiatives across different cities, and mostly we are implemented the regional initiatives considering the respective city and the host institute that we implemented in collaborations. So since from 1 year, our team members that we actively and with dedications, so we are implementing IES Forum initiatives. About IES Forum core team members, Mr. Shailendra Goswami, the chairman and managing director of Pushkaraj Group Pune, Dr. Srikant Kalurkar, a principal, Athor College of Engineering, Mumbai. So the Dr. Srikant Kalurkar and Mr. Shailendra Goswami, sir, they are guiding us, mentoring us from the beginning of the IES Forum with laying the foundation a step by step ahead. So in our core team, Dr. Rakhi Sharma, Dr. Rakhi
Sanjay sir? Sanjay sir, are you there?
Sharma is
please take to the previous slide. Okay, I will take away from here. I think Mr. Sanjay has a little network issue. So the core team of IES Forum has Mr. Sanjay Jagtap, who is the head of Entrepreneurship Development Cell. Myself, who is a convener of Incubator and Accelerator Center and has been working in the field of entrepreneurship for almost last 13 years. And Mr. Sopan Aghav, who is a certified trainer for Entrepreneurship Development, DST NIMAT Coordinator, MCA Department, PCCOE, Pune. With this, I would like to go ahead with the next part. And for that, let me give a quote, and quote Warren Buffett. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. We want to plant the tree of innovation and entrepreneurship in the ecosystem. And one such person who is with us today, who is planting this tree so that all of us and the coming generation can have the benefit of such innovation, is Dr. B.T. Ingole, who is the Director, Innovation, Incubation and Linkages, Amravati University. I request Dr. Ingole to come and give introductory remarks. Sir, you are on mute, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rakhi. Good evening, everybody. The chairman of today's virtual webinar, Dr. Murlidhar Chandekar, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. Today's eminent speaker, Dr. Dipan Sahu, Assistant Innovation Director, Innovation Cell, Ministry of Education, Government of India. My colleague, Dr. Vilas T. Thakre, Head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Dr. Srikant G. Kalurkar, who is the mentor of the IES. Professor Sanjay Jagtap, who is coordinator of IES Forum. Dr. Rakhi Sharma, Professor Sopan Aghav from the IES Forum. All committee members, respected principal, faculties of affiliated colleges, startup innovators, all attendees, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I welcome all of you for this virtual startup entrepreneurship bootcamp, which is for idea stage entrepreneurs, which is scheduled today and tomorrow. I express my gratitude first of all to Honorable Dr. Murlidhar Chandekar sir for the granting and support to this important workshop. Keeping his vision of innovation further, we established incubation center at our Amravati University campus. This incubation center is established as per the Maharashtra University Act 2016. The name of the incubation center is SGBAU, which is the abbreviation of our university, that is Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Research and Incubation Foundation Center. As you know that incubation center is established for nurturing your ideas into the commercial product so that the innovator can become a successful entrepreneur. With a proper documentation and the fulfillment of all norms, our incubation center is approved and supported by Government of Maharashtra, and that is MSIRS. This incubation center is supported with a grant of 5 crore rupees, and this incubation center is registered under a Section 8 company. We have established a complete ecosystem which is required for startup at our center. And some of the startup, I'll just look at the participant list. I'll also join in today's session also. I welcome all of them. We already started registration of our new startup ideas. Some of them are really wonderful to develop their startup ideas, particularly based on COVID. One of the startups has developed their idea on the blockchain. Few of them are on the e-commerce. Some of them are on IT and agrobase. So they are really doing well. We are organizing various seminars, workshops, particularly projects competition to encourage the innovators to showcase their ideas. We evaluate good ideas, good projects registered at our center for further development. Honorable Vice Chancellor always encourages and supports us to organize such an event. I am very pleased to announce that we are also IIC. I am the president of IIC at our SGBAU center. We are fortunate to have the eminent personalities like Dr.Dipan Sahu, who is Assistant Innovation Director at Innovation Cell MHRD, Mr. Saurabh Jain, ex-Vice President Patent and founder of Fun to Do Lab, Mr. Abhijit Khandagare, the Ruksha Ecosystem Foundation Nagpur, to give the insightful special lectures on innovations for idea stage startups. So once again, I express my gratitude to all of you for being with us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ingule sir. Sir, just wanted to check if VC sir is joining.
No, you continue. Go ahead.
Okay. So we'll go ahead with the speaker session. So instead of freaking out about these constraints, it is always good to embrace them. Let them guide you. Constraints always drive innovation and force focus. And that is what is expected from all of us. Instead of trying to remove them, use them to your advantage. And that is what I would like to say about the speaker for today, who is such a dynamic person, who is always training faculties, institutions all across in removing these constraints and taking it to a next level and coming up with new set of innovation and entrepreneurial mindset. Dr. Deepan Sahu, the speaker for today, is the Innovation Director, Innovation Cell Ministry of Education, Government of India. Dr. Sahu is a development professional with more than 10 years of expertise in policy design and implementation in the areas of innovation and startup ecosystem development in the higher educational institutions of India. He's currently serving in the capacity of Assistant Innovation Director at Innovation Cell, Ministry of Education, housed at AICTE, New Delhi. Dr. Sahu holds an undergraduate degree in fishery science from Sri Venkateshwara University. He also has a master's degree in MBA in rural management from KIT University. He also has a degree in development policy from Korea Development Institute, a South Korean government policy think tank. He is associated with AICTE since 2017 and is a core member of implementation team for National Innovation and Startup Policy for higher educational institution. He plays a lead role in designing and implementation of number of major national policy initiatives such as Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievement, Institutions Innovation Council, MBA in Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Venture Development, International Acceleration Program for Early Stage Startups. He manages a portfolio of various programs that are being implemented under AICTE startup policy in academic institutions at AICTE. Sir, we are really honored to have you today with us, and we are looking forward about your address on understanding the concepts of technology readiness level, investment readiness level, and manufacturing readiness level, which in itself are so important for the entrepreneurs. And you are here to guide us on this. We welcome you, sir, and I request you to take us through your session.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rakesh Sharma, and the all team members of IES Forum, also the team member IAC team at SGBAU Amravati for conducting this kind of a joint, this kind of boot camps through collaborative mode. And I know the IES Forum since its inception because already I have delivered more than 2 or 3 sessions. Also, Sanjay is continuously updating me what they are doing. So it's good to know that you people are continuing your efforts during this pandemic situation and made this forum by bringing this like-minded mentality faculties and engaging them with through some constructive way. And you all are trying your best, right, to contribute back to the society in different forms. So now comes to the today's session, because when Sanjay asked me what is the session you want to take, then I thought I'm not going to take kind of ideation, because though I'm taking a session on business model canvas, ideation, business plan, or other type of programs, sessions on relate to the innovation. But I thought this topic, this TRL, we generally the technology readiness level, and the concept of the terminology like manufacturing readiness level, also it is an investment readiness level. We hardly talk about these things. No doubt, because this is a bit more advanced version. Also, it is quite not used in India, but it is used well in European countries and the USA, where the advancement of technology or they follow the protocols, systems, they use this one. But in India, we are at just the beginning stage. So, but we have quite versed and quite well known with the word called idea, ideation, business validation, business model, canvas, startup. Now we are quite well versed, but now we have to further deepening our understanding, our approach, so that we will move at least one step forward in every day or in every month, so that we will at least try to go and reach to the international level of approach to the innovation and the startup. That's why in Atal Ranking of Institution on Innovation Achievement, this ARIA framework in 2020, 21. So here we have included, even in the first, since it's since the second edition, we have included this TRL level. But now we are further drilling down that how we will capture, how we will sensitize the institutions through this ranking process, and also through the other programs that we run at Ministry of Education, like NISP or IISc or other programs. We try to promote the concept of TRL, that every institute, every faculty, every student should know what is TRL. And up to some extent, we are we are quite successful to take it to down, but still the concept is not well understood. But there are, beyond the TRL also, there are some concept like manufacturing readiness level, which is at least I think most of the people, they don't know what is MRL. And also there is a concept linked with it, it's called IRL, investment readiness level. We know the terms, we know the some parameters, but as a whole, as a system, we are not aware about it. But we have started it, and now TRL is now reaching to the people are now trying to find the answer from the Google, what is TRL and how it is linked. And when we asked faculty or our higher education institutions to provide the data through this auto ranking, we found that many people were misunderstood this TRL also. They try to give, because this is not clearly defined by we have not provided any kind of a guideline on TRL. We thought that they know and they will go to they will understand it, they will provide the correct data. But in return, we got lots of data with mess ups, and actually it is TRL2, but they provide is TRL5. So this is kind of misunderstanding or lack of awareness is there. And then we started conducting the session, and finally we thought that, okay, let's promote in very, very methodological way, systematic way. And that's why since last 4 to 5 months, we are doing lots of session, and we are telling that what is TRL, also giving guidelines. So today I will talk about this TRL bit in depth, because once you will understand the TRL, then it is easy to understand the MRL, then IRL. So all three are the correlated, complement, and also it is quite interlinked. But TRL is the basic one, what we have to understand. Let me share my presentation and slides with you all so that it will be easy for you to go through. Just confirm me if my screen is visible to you all. Just confirm me.
Sir, it's stating start screen.
Yeah.
It's not visible.
Yes.
It's not visible.
Now?
Yeah, sir. It's
now
visible.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is visible.
So, okay. So is it fine now? Screen is okay?
So
yes,
the first slide, sir, because we are watching on YouTube also.
Okay. Okay, it's maybe a bit lag.
First slide or moment.
First slide. Yes.
First slide. No,
yes.
Earlier slide.
Okay, shall I proceed?
Sir, please move to the first slide.
First slide for movement, because we are watching on YouTube also.
It is just the title name only. It's just the title name, so I have skipped.
For YouTube, that is required.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the concept. We all know there is a process involved, starting from the problem identification to the ideation, then prototype development, then for the piloting and converting into a product or a service. This is the general process involved, and we call it is a innovation process. And this innovation process always starts with individual intent, what we call entrepreneurial intent and the creativity potential of the individual. And when this kind of person or individuals having this kind of intent to do some innovation or to start some business, so they come across with insights. And insights means it's a knowledge points, right? Knowledge points. And they identify some opportunities. Then intent and insight combined together go through a process of called ideation. And through this ideation, they identify the problem and they also come up with the possible solutions, and they validate the solution. And once they are fully confident, or once they are sure that this solution will workable, or it will has some opportunity, then they go for the development of that solution. Then they do the market testing, deployment, and then value creation through either commercialization or IP generation, or through the startup formation, or through the commercial licensing to the industries for the what we call technology transfer. So this is the whole process of the innovation. And during this process of innovation, there are distinctive steps involved, and also we are quite familiar with these distinctive steps, like idea, like proof of concept, like prototype, like validation, piloting, or pilot, or scale, or market. So these are the one-word terms we are quite familiar, and also up to some extent we understand the meaning of these things. And these are the linear process. This is the linear process generally involves in this innovation process. And this is just a background I'm telling, because once you know this background, it is very easy to understand this TRL, MRL, and IRL concept. And what all this process we call is the innovation process. And the techniques and the tools through which we manage the whole innovation process is called the innovation management. It is very difficult. It is very, very important that one person or one organization or a startup to have a clear understanding on innovation process, the steps, also the management, the tools or techniques to manage these innovation steps and the process. Because if you will not have this kind of quality or the kind of a skill set to take the innovation process forward and to manage each and every stage, then it is highly likely that you will not able to reach to the final stage of the innovation process, like that value creation. Maybe you will get you will drop your innovation, or you will waste lots of resources, or you will end with somewhere else that is not desirable, or something you will get into somewhere else, something unexpected. So this is what's very, very important for every entrepreneur and innovations to have this understanding, that is innovation management skill and techniques and tools, and also the innovation process, how the innovation or the idea will reach to the value creation stage. So the whole process, what I have talked so far, can be understood and also can be mapped in a systematic way by using this TRL technique, that is technology readiness level technique. And in last 5 to 10 years, since last 10 years, like in last 1 decade, the use of TRL is now increasing, and the purpose of TRL is in manifold, or it has a different various functions to perform. The first thing is that mostly TRL is used as a communication tool, because it objectively assesses that how your idea has progressed and developed and turned into a value or a startup or a commercialization. This TRL says that how objectively it progressed, and also it connects that each development stage. Also, it gives a clear-cut picture to the stakeholders to whom you want to communicate. So this is TRL is now a communication tool. This is the first purpose it serves. The second purpose this TRL serves, it provides a development roadmap. So once if an individual or a team or a startup or a company, when they start any technology to produce, starting from the ideation, it gives a clear picture that of all factors, that is uncertainable or certainable, or controlled or uncontrolled factors that contributes, that helps in accomplishing this task or accomplishing these steps. What we call, it helps in minimizing the risk, because it gives you a picture and gives a detailed factor that plays each and every stages. So it helps in minimizing the risk. Also, it ensures that team or company will develop the product which is actually fit for the purpose. it remove the unwanted move or wasting the resources for unnecessary things. Also, this TRL application to the innovation, it encourages the real world testing and iteration process so that you will come up with the best thing out of your effort. And also it helps in TRL helps in introducing the reality check, because each and every stage it has to pass through certain validated criteria of market testing, piloting, or lab testing, so that now chance of coming to the reverse, coming to the again back stage is less. Because once you will cross that each and every stage with certain validated criteria, then you make sure that you are succeeding one step by one step and finally coming close to the TRL 9, because TRL has 9 measured in the 9 scale. TRL 1 is the starting, that is called ideation or idea stage, and TRL 9 is called the full commercialization stage. So what is important? The more important is that how your innovation or your progress in the stage you are currently now, how far you are from the TRL 9. You should not count or measure that or your success rate of in any development, that how far you are from the TRL 9. You should not count, you should not take the distance from the TRL 1. You should always take the distance that how far you are from the market, that is TRL 9. Also, this TRL helps in giving helps in the decision making, especially concerning to the technology funding. If you want to approach any funding support or approach any kind of agency, then TRL is going to give you a better decision making power. Also, it helps in concern with the transition of the technology and technology maturity. So let me talk about some history of this technology readiness level. Actually, it was originally conceived at NASA during 1974, but it emerged, and now this process has been emerged and finally formally defined in 1989. So NASA, because it is used for the for the space research, and gradually in 1990s, NASA has adopted developed a 9-level scale, and subsequently it gained widespread acceptance among especially the agencies like United States Air Force and then US Department of Defense in 2000, and in 2008, first time European Space Agency has adopted this technology readiness level, this 9-scale technology readiness level developed by NASA. And then European agency, the European Union, has further adopted this this TRL level, and they have normalized it, and they've normalized and now used for EU, that European Union funding research projects and innovation projects, and it was happened in 2014 only. Till 2014, this TRL was used in only space and defense research programs. In 2013, ISO also developed, used this TRL, and they have converted into, and they have come up with a standardized version that is called ISO 16290 and in 2013. So what is the difference between the technology readiness level of NASA and European Union one? In both the cases, there is a 9 scale. There is nothing difference. Only in the NASA one, it is more research oriented, but in the European one, they have generalized it and generalized for the public funded projects. But NASA one is more on the defense related, space related applications. This is the only difference. So if you will see the NASA one, so no doubt it is the stage, but what they have combined it with the research. So generally it starts with basic research, basic technology research, and from the basic they have developed convert into the applied research, and applied research ensures that there is a feasibility of the technology, and then it leads to the technology development. Then the technology developed, it has to be demonstrated, then a system creation of the technology that it has to be performed in the real world function. That's why you call it is system testing and launching and operation in the market. So these are the steps proposed by the NASA, and European Union just normalized it. They've not distorted it, they've just normalized it, and they came up that TRL, they've classified the whole 9 into 3 blocks. The first one, 1, 2, 3 TRL is for the research, and 4, 5, 6 is for the knowledge and the input, the output of the research converting into a solution, that is a demonstratable form, and 7 in the lab scale and also in the simulated environment, and 7, 8, 9 is the taking this simulated technology developed in the simulated environment to test in the operational environment and then take into the market. That's why they've classified the whole 1 to 9 into 3 blocks. And but again, it starts with idea level, and then it gradually moves and towards the testing in the relevant or simulated environment, in the lab environment, then into the operational environment, then into the actual system where commercial production or the mass production will happen. So this is the kind of a just picture and the scale used by the European Union, and now it is widely accepted in almost all the countries. Those are promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. I'm going to, in next 1 hour 45 minutes, I'm going to tell you that how this TRL is actually going to help us to understand our innovation and also to apply in our innovation development process. So the first one, the TRL1, is called Basic Principle Observed. That means if I may, just I'm taking myself as a one innovator or as an individual. So consider that I want to start something, I want to come up with some innovation. Then once I identify the problem, once I identify the need of the community or the society or the industry, then I have to find the solution. To find the solution, I have to do some desktop research or some lab or some interaction with the people, and or I have to do some survey or kind of things. So from there, I have to come up with, through brainstorming in my team, I have to come up with a solution. So the first TRL1 is called Basic Principle Observed, which says that idea is just generated, and to find the solution and the solution of that idea, we have to do lots of desktop research, and we have to go for lots of studies, and we have to see that what technology is there, and how this problem can be solved, and what if the solution is this, then which are the technology I'm going to use. So it defines the basic properties of the technologies that we are going to use, and we have to adopt that desktop research, and we have to do lots of secondary studies, and we have to do lots of interactions with the customer or the people to find the solution. This is what we called TRL1, and TRL1 is the idea level. Now comes to the TRL2, which is called Technology Concept Formulated. So once we understand that what kind of technology I'm going to use for that particular solution and what are the properties of that technologies, then I have to come up with a speculative version of analytical study, that what will happen, or if I'm going to use this technology, these properties or these components, then what would be my solution, and what would be, in what way I'm going to test it. So I have to design a speculative version of designing the analytical approach, or to design that this 3 technologies going to interact in this way, and it will result this solution, or it will result this benefit, or it will result this output. So I have to speculatively, I have to design that concept, that what is called technology concept formulated. Then once you have designed this speculative version of the concept, then we have to experiment, we have to make it proof that this concept is workable, or this concept is valid. So we have to validate. In the TRL3, we have to validate what we have designed, the conceptual framework, or the analytical the framework, in the TRL3. So for that, you have to see that what is the relationship between parameter 1 or the technology 1 with technology 2, what is the combination. So what is the combined effect, what is the individual effect, like that we have to study. And because we have already identified the technology and the parameters and the components, then in the technology, in the TRL3, we have to study the relationship. We have to study the individual relationship. We have to study the combined relationship. Also, we have to study that what we have hypothesis that we have formulated, is it true or not? That is what we call is experimental proof of concept, and that means we have to validate what we have proposed in the TRL2. Now comes to the TRL4. In the TRL4, that is, so far in TRL3, what we did, only we have tested the one-to-one or combined relationship. But in TRL4, we have to study, you have to validate these things in the lab scale, and we have to use like a lab environment to study, and we have to come up with the evidence that yes, what I have proposed and what I've studied, and now it is workable in the lab environment. So this is the what technology 4 says. So mostly 1 to 4 is mostly almost all of the institutes, students are involved, and faculties are also in almost all research goes through this 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is very, very common in all kind of, even PhD studies also. In PhD studies, it is very easy to come to the TRL4. Then TRL5 is the most advanced version. So now TRL5 actually where the actually difficult comes in, and where the actually the innovation pitch in. So till that time, till this TRL4, it is very, very difficult to differentiate. It is an innovation project, or it is a PhD project, or it is a research project. It is very, very difficult to differentiate. Actually, the differentiation starts after this TRL4. So once the TRL4 is over, then we have to get into the TRL5. Let's understand that till how this TRL5 works in. This TRL5 says that the technology, the relationship, or the effect, everything that we have developed, the design, and also validated in the lab scale, now we have to validate in the relevant environment. So this is the difference between TRL4 and TRL5 is the environment. TRL4 is validated in the lab, and that lab has no regulatory environment. It is just we understand the relationship between parameter 1 and parameter 2 of the technology 1 and technology 2, and we've tested that this is workable. But in the TRL5, we create a simulated environment. Like if we are performing any technology, then we have to say that the temperature or the situation or the movement. So we have to create a simulated environment in the lab, but we have to now integrate or partially integrate the 1 or 2 technologies we have identified and validated the TRL4, and it has to be now performed as a system, or it has to perform as a model, or it has to perform as a subsystem. So the difference between TRL4 and TRL5 is environment and integrated operation of the 1 or 2 technologies involved in the process. So this is the what differentiate TRL5. And TRL5 actually set the foundation for the innovation, especially technological innovation. And once you succeed in that to complete this TRL5, then the TRL6, which says that now it has to be demonstrated. So far you have not demonstrated. So far you have only validated that what you are saying, what you're proposing, what you are validating at the lab, it is working. Or it's a combination of 1 or 2 things it's working. But demonstration is complete system. Like it has to be involved all technologies, all components, all dynamisms, and it has to be operate in that simulated environment. And simulated environments, it is still artificial environment created or situation created for the technologies to perform. So 5 and 6 differs in forms of the, again, in the form of validation, the demonstration. Validation, you may or may not to include all the technologies, all the components involved in the technology, but in the TRL6, you have to include all the technologies, all the components, and it has to be function in coordinated way, but in a simulated environment. So environment is same, but it has to be involvement of technologies and integration of technology and having a system or a subsystem. That is actually difference between TRL 5 and 6. Now comes to the TRL 7. TRL 7, here again the difference is the environment, because in TRL 6 it was tested in a simulated environment, that is a lab environment, but in TRL 7 it has to be now tested in the operational environment. So we have to take to the market, you have to take to the actual situation where this kind of problems exist, and you have to demonstrate there, and you have to take the feedback, you have to understand, you have to quantify the problem, you have to quantify the challenges, you have to quantify the quality concern, you have to everything you have to test. But still it is not into the commercial state, it is just an operational environment. Like consider, I will come to the example in later. So now don't let's not spend much time on the example, because there is a clear-cut examples are there. But only the difference between TRL 6 and 7 is the simulated environment to the operational environment. This is the first stage of your startup, any technological startup. So TRL 7 set the foundation for that. You are now ready for a kind of a commercialization. So TRL 8 is now says that when you are operating in an operational environment, in that case you have to see that it passes through all quality concerns, it passes through all cost structures, it passes through the all standardizations, it qualify all regulatory mechanisms. Whereas the TRL 9 says that once you have these things ready and in your hand, as in the TRL 8, now the system is now ready for commercialization, and you can either transfer this technology, or you can go for setting up a manufacturing unit, or you can plan for licensing, or go for a startup. So this is the kind of a this is the whole system, though a bit complex, but it's clearly define and set the standards for each TRL to pass through, and you will apply this for your innovation and the technology development process. Then there is a less chance to fail, and whatever you will do, you will make sure that you are progressing well, and there is a less chance to get fail back or wasting the resources that you have already given. So already I have defined this TRL 5 and 6. So I'm not going to tell the basic difference between TRL 5 and 6 is the integration of the technology, whereas the difference between the TRL 4 and 5, the TRL 4 and 5 ensures that your technology concept will work, whereas the technology 6 and 7 ensures that this actually works in the ground. So this is the only difference between TRL 5 and 6 and 6 and 7 and 4 and 5. So once you will go through this PPT, once I will complete, then you will get better picture, but still try to assimilate, try to understand some few highlight points so that it will help you to differentiate all this TRL 5 and 6. Take the one example. Now in hospitals, especially in the super specialty hospitals, you will find the automatic hospital bed, because earlier we used to use the manual way of adjusting the height and the inclinations and all kind of things. Now mostly this automatic hospital bed, if you will consider it is a one technology, and this technology is not only one it's a combination of more than 10 technologies. They are using this concept of they are using the electronic. It is a mechanical part involves. There is a electronic. There is also a use of the other engineering concepts to have this kind of automatic hospital bed technology that is bed ready for commercialization. So you can see the picture. That is, first picture is TRL 5, which was in the TRL5 stage, and this technology, nobody will accept the technology because it looks like a heavy and clumsy and full scale prototype, but it is still a commercial, a full technology, have all type of technologies that has used this electronic, all kind of a concepts, mechanical concept, electrical concept, and weight adjustment, all these concepts, balancing concepts, engineering technologies, and also the medical technologies to develop this one. So this technology wise, it is already integrated, but use wise, utility wise, it was not to the mark. That's why you call it TRL5. But when it converted into TRL6, it is completely resembled to the final product, but it has to be tested in the hospital. So the TRL5, it is designed, but it was tested in the only simulated environment. But TRL6, it is designed, and now it has to be tested in the hospital. And then TRL7, in TRL6, again, it is the either in the lab or the technology development lab or in the hospital. But in TRL7, it has to be taken to the hospital environment. So please correct me, it is TRL7, it is not TRL6. So it is wrongly typed. So it is a TRL6 where actually it is tested in the hospital. So similarly, if you will classify the whole TRL, the complexity, because as I said, that there is this whole TRL system is very, very complex. But for the easy understanding, if you will classify you will categorize all these TRLs into different systems. First, TRL3 to TRL4, mostly it is called component system, where single element of the technology we are testing, we are validating. So we are seeing that how one technology, if developing one technology, there are so many sub technologies or the components. We just know, we are trying to understand the relationship, dependency, interdependency, or also all kind of things, and validating this with a single element of technology. But TRL4 to 5, it is kind of a combination of the technologies. It's an integrated component, and it creates still it is the laboratory, but it is a kind of integrated components. And in TRL6 to 7, it is kind of a subsystem, or it's kind of a whole integrated system, and it creates system approach. And TRL8 to 9, it is kind of a fully operational system. So these are the kind of a complexity of the system involves in each different TRL stages. And if you will see the environment, first thing is TRL1, 2 is mostly the desktop or the lab environment. TRL3 to 4 is also a laboratory environment. TRL5 to 6 is mostly in the simulated environment, and TRL6 is also in the simulated, but more closely related to the operational environment. And TRL7 is the operational environment, and TRL8 to 9 is the actual market environment. So these are the kind of operation where each and every technology goes through. And why I'm saying, because these are the system, these are the environments, and these are the technology development things, ensures that you pass from stage 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and you have to make sure that what you are doing, it is purposefully done, and with the intent and objective is clearly defined. And also you are qualifying, you're taking technology from one stage to another stage with completing successfully all the criteria and the validations that ensures your success and failure is less. This is what TRL ensures. Another example of this whole thing is X-ray scanner for moisture content measurement in fruits. So consider the TRL5. The TRL5, so to make it happen, what the kind of technology we have to use? We have to use the X-ray emission source. We have to use some detectors. Also, we have to use the frame, which involves conveyor system. Also, it has to be electronically, all kind of software system to gather this information and process it. So to build this prototype or to build this technology, we need so many small technologies like X-ray, emission source, detector, integrated, all what I've said, all we have to use 5-6 technologies. So also we have to use the software system to develop these algorithms. So in TRL5, we develop each and every technology, and we have to validate that how we are going to use it. But in TRL 6, we have to integrate all these technologies, and you have to see that upon integration, it also works. But in TRL 7, we have to take this integrated technology things to a kind of a paper mill or somewhere, and we have to run this technology in that premise, and you have to see that it fulfills the performance requirements of the paper mill for the purpose it has been created. So this is the what system, this is the what environment, this is the what complexity involves. And I'm trying my best to define you that how individual technology and their relationship has been further integrated and then taking to the real environment, and we test, and how we will define and correlate with the different TRLs. This is the what gives a clear picture for the innovator and the entrepreneurs to design and to define a technology development path for their innovation. But generally what happens, it is very difficult to apply this generic TRL. So we have to customize this generic TRL for the specific TRL. And this is the what every innovator also need to understand, because then how we are going to convert the generic TRL to the specific TRL. This can be done if we will make sure that the technology what you are going to use and the environment you are going to we have to operate. So if we will understand this technology and the environment part well, then it is very easy to convert this generic TRL to a specific TRL. And let's give one case of the jet engine development. Almost all the airplane, you will find this jet engine. Also, there is the use of the jet engine for other purposes. But actually, 1980s, during that time, this jet engine concept we have developed. So during that time, that in the actually 1980s, the research started on TRL 1 to 2. And they have used the concept of fluid physics, which is part of the basic research. And they have used the fundamental concept of air mixing, that is developing that how to design a air mixing device. So it was started with designing a air mixing or the fundamentals with the air mixing device, and they have used the concept of the fluid physics, and they have developed an idea that based on this, one jet engine can be developed. And that is the way the foundations, this is called idea stage, and the converting the basic research into the applied research. And in TRL 3, especially in the early 1990s, so this concept, the proof of concept we have designed in 1980s has been used in the nozzle, in the small nozzle, and to create to test that in the lab scale that this concept work. And that this TRL 3 is called validation of the concept that is designed in TRL 2. And TRL 4 and 5 during 1995 to 97, all these concepts and the technologies what we have validated in TRL 3, it has been we have designed a aerodynamic model for this jet engine, and tested that it functions well in the lab scale. Whereas TRL 6 says that this full scale also though in the simulation environment, but it resembles with the prototype, or it resembles with the actual jet engine. And in TRL 7, especially during 2001 to 2005, it was validated and used in the actual flight. That is in flight. It's gone through the flight test, and finally the design is confirmed. And in TRL 8/9 2005 onwards, we are using this jet engine, and now it is being used in almost all aeroplanes. So this is the TRLs and TRL 1, the progress of the TRLs, especially related to the jet engine. So I hope you will be able to correlate. Also, you will understand that how technology, though it is taken much time, around 30 years, but this is the process of TRL stages involved in the jet engine development. And now if you will come to the software development, so because this is the one of the automobile technology or the something fluid dynamics technology, but now let's talk about the software, because many startups, many entrepreneurs, they develop the IT related things. Also many software companies, they involve in these things. Also they use this technology. I hope those are from the IT background, they are quite familiar with this word called alpha, beta, white box and black box. Generally TRL 1 to 3 is called pre-alpha stage. So this is a kind of script writing, abstracting the idea and actually see that writing that how the logics and coding will start. So this is the TRL 1 to 3. But TRL 4 is called the alpha testing. Alpha testing says that you have this working script, and probably there will be lots of the bugs, and maybe you have not incorporated all the features, but program code is running well. It is serving the purpose, right? This is called the alpha stage. Also, we call this alpha testing related with the white box. White box is kind of, alpha is the development of the technology, and white box is the tools to validate that. So just understand, alpha is the stage of the technology, or it's called TRL 4. That is the functional working script of things. But white box is the tool. By using the white box tool, they test that what they have designed, it is working. So TRL 4 is kind of a lab scale validation and also testing that functioning well. And TRL 5 is called black box. So mostly TRL 5 says that what you have developed in TRL 4, now it has to be sent to the software testing service center, and they are not aware about what has been done in the inside. They will only think about what it is performing as per the requirement or not. So this is the difference between white box and the black box. White box is making sure that what they've designed, it is as per the coding, as per the script. But black box is done by the external evaluator. They test that they are not bothering about what is internally done, only they are bothering about what is it is intent to deliver is appropriate or not. So they are mostly on the output of the things. They are not about the internal architect validation. So internal architect validation done in the TRL 4, and TRL 5 may ensure that outside, that is the result or the output validation, and then it goes to the beta testing. Beta testing is called also the black box, and beta testing is beta testing is done by giving to the customer or asking people to use it and give their feedback. And open beta testing is giving to the very large number of the customer. And once TRL 7 is done, then company come up with the final version 1 of the IT product or the application, and then gradually they test it and develop it, and they come up with the production version 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So these are the concept of software development, and I'm not going to talk each and every kind of a specific TRL. This is for the pharmaceutical development, and again here I don't want, but actually let me give you in very short. It starts with research idea. Then TRL 3 is called hypothesis testing, in vitro and in vitro models, and then we take to the animal model or the laboratory model. Then we go for the preclinical studies, and in TRL 6 it is preclinical phase 1 and the phase 2. I hope you all are aware about the clinical trials we heard, because during COVID time we came across with lots of vaccine production. So TRL 6 is for the clinical trial phase 1 and phase 2, whereas the TRL 7 is the third phase of the clinical trial, and TRL 8 is the getting the approval from the regulatory bodies, and TRL 9 is commercialization or the production and sending to the vaccine. So this is all the steps. I hope most of you are aware about these steps, because in the last 7 months or 8 months we are every day we are listening about the vaccine production. Now it is in the phase 2, now it is the phase 3. This is the efficiency level, this is the what, this we are listening. So I hope this you will be able to correlate, and for your kind of a more understanding, the BIRAC, the Department of Biotechnology, already have defined the TRL, and they have published this TRL for 10 sectors, that is drugs, vaccine, biosimilars, regenerative medicine, medical device and diagnosis, artificial intelligence, big data, industrial biotechnology, aquaculture and fisheries, veterinary. So they have already developed. You can access to all these TRLs. You can broaden your knowledge. Also, you can apply if you are interested. You are working, your innovation is falling under these areas, and you can access all these individual TRLs by accessing to by clicking this link. And byrac.nic.in, you will get all these things. Now comes to the what we have to consider actually generally in this process. As I said, that it is very, very important to consider that in which state, how far you are from the TRL 9 rather than how far you have already completed from the TRL 1. This is very, very important. So because always when you are saying that you are bringing some innovation always says that how close you are from the market. It never says that how things, what the things you have already done. There is that doesn't matter that what you have done so far. It always says that are you closing to the market every day or every progress, yes or not. This is the what TRL says. And the more you will progress, there will be high cost involved, no doubt, it is obvious. And also if you will fail, also there is a high expensive also, because we have to bear the cost. And but return is also good. If you will success, then there is a high return also. So we have to use both risk complexity. Also, you have to use this TRL application during the innovation process. And also TRL can apply for existing products. Consider that you have one technology, consider one company has already developed a technology which is in the market, but they want to bring a change or the improvising on the technology. So what they have to do, they have to take the existing technology and the development stage as a TRL2. That means already the product which is in the very advanced stage in the market, if they want to further develop, they have to consider the existing product as a TRL2, and again they have to say that they have to define the plan and everything. They have to again follow the same process from TRL2 to TRL8 to 9. It may happen that it is very the period of from traveling from TRL2 to TRL8 9 may be short, but they have to follow the same procedure what we have discussed. Now comes to the manufacturing readiness level. So those understood this TRL, it is very easy to understand. Only this manufacturing readiness level is applied mostly in the manufacturing companies or the R&D companies, or in the like drugs companies, or those are into the manufacturing or the mass production, or bringing new technologies and new invention and converting into the manufacturing. So manufacturing readiness level is a bit advanced version of the technology readiness level, but it is intercorrelated and also very closely connected with the TRL concept, where manufacturing readiness level says that how consistent you have understanding the maturity of the manufacturing evaluation and converting and starting the manufacturing unit, or having a manufacturing system in place for a commercial production. So unlike this TRL, manufacturing readiness level have a 1 to 10 scale, and also it has a 3 milestones and different phases. Let's see that what are these things. So generally for a manufacturing readiness level, it counts technology and industrial base, design, cost and funding, materials, process capability and control, quality management, manufacturing workforce, facilities, manufacturing management. So these are the major areas manufacturing readiness level counts during the process of designing this, mapping this manufacturing readiness level scale for the things. So for that, companies, what they do, they follow this scale from 1 to 10, and it always started with feasibility assessment. That all these 9 components, what I have explained, the areas, all these 9 components, we conduct the feasibility study, and we say that all which it gives a picture that the potential of manufacturing readiness level, and we say it is a MRL 1. Similarly, now the second component, the MRL2 says that what we have defined, it is we have to apply to the local concept. We have to apply for the locality, and we have to say that what we are defining, what we have set the target, actually it is well defined. And also in MRL3 it says that all the things are now proved, that okay, I'm going to make some change in the design, or I'm going to make some improvising the cost and funding, or this is the approach. So everything what you have defined in the MRL 1 and 2, it has to be freezed in MRL 3. And the MRL 4 says that what we have defined, what we have developed, it has to be now replicate, it has to be a miniature version. We have to start with a miniature version of the laboratory production. So you have to start a laboratory production first, then you have to slowly then you have to convert into a pilot production, then trunky production, then you have to get into the full scale production. And this is the what says that MRL 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the pilot, in the MRL 8, you have to use that you have to use the concept of low rate production. That is means how you will minimize the cost, how you will minimize the waste, and how you will increase the efficiency. And this is the what you have to demonstrate in MRL 9, and MRL 10 is called full rate production, or full rate production or demonstration, or the you have to also you have to use the concept of lean production, that is improvising the process on regular basis. This is the what manufacturing readiness level. Let me give you some snapshots that how each MRL goes through. The MRL 1 and 2, again, it uses the concept of basic. Sorry. Hello. Hello.
Sir, you can go ahead. I think there was a little technical error.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So MRL 1, 2, again, it is like TRL. It uses the basic concept. Also, it uses the advanced research. Maybe you have to go for the secondary study or the higher primary study, and also you have to revise the existing technology and the suppliers and everything. And you have to use the concept of manufacturing concepts, and you have to say that this is the what you want to that your manufacturing process is like this. And in MRL 3, you have to use this what the things you have developed in the TRL as MRL 1 and 2. You have to now see that how it will be developed in the lab scale. And in TRL 4 is the lab environment. You have to come up with the you have to start with the lab production, and the lab production then leads to the then you have to start the simulated environment. Now lab has no control environment. Now you have to create a simulated environment, and you have to start producing. Also you have to see that what are the cost drivers, what kind of equipment generally you need, and what is the quality, what is the production efficiency. Everything you have to understand in MRL 5, and that will leads to the MRL 6, where you have to see that what the technology you have developed. Now you have to implement, you have to go and take and test in the in an industry which is going to use it. So you have to use it. Also you have to see that what kind of trade and what kind of supply chain management and what kind of production improvement, all these processes. And in MRL 7 and MRL 7 and 8, which is called piloting. So you have to start your own production unit, and you have to start with pilot level, and you have to see that you are able to integrate this low rate initial production system. And also there is a supply chain that you have lined off, and also the quality you are also coming up, that consistency in the quality is maintained, and standardization process has been developed. This is what called MRL 8. And also in MRL 8 says that you obtain all kind of standards, approvals, regulatory mechanisms. And MRL 9 and 10 says that you are into the full commercial production. Also, we are going to use the other techniques like called lean production system, or all kind of performance measurement systems like Six Sigma production system in the production. So the 10th one is extended version of commercial production and ensuring that you are going to make standard and quality products, and there is a waste minimization. This is the 10th step, and almost TRL and MRLs are same. Only MRL is more focused on a very systemed approach and manufacturing goal. And also the 10th MRL, the MRL 10 is more focused on the using the different quality management and the production technique to ensure that your performance and efficiency and effectiveness has been increased. So this is the difference between TRL and the MRL. Now comes to the last one, that is called investment readiness level. Generally, investment readiness level is a new concept now is being used, and it is using the concept of TRL and the MRL, and mostly startups are now using this concept. And this IRL ensures that you travel with idea level, then you will get into the innovation, then startup, then it will link to the venture capital. So this is the more relevant to the innovator, and it is deriving the concept of TRL, which is being used in the research, and MRL is mostly in the business. So you know that startups are actually hybrid version of the research and the business or the manufacturing or the kind of a industry. So they use this investment readiness level, use the concept of the TRL and MRL, and it makes use that startups, it make easy for the innovators and the entrepreneurs and for the startup founders that to have this kind of timeline and the roadmap for their innovation, so that they will get they will able to pitch better to the venture capitals and to the market, so to raise the fund and for the business scale up. So let's understand the TRL1. Also we can say it is MRL1 and TRL1 and relating with the IRL1. So it's always started with the basic research through which we identify the need, and also we came up with this many solutions, and by using this lab the desktop research or the existing technologies and combination of the technologies, and finally we prepare an elevator pitch. So elevator pitch is the output, and as a of IRL, and basic research is the output of the TRL1, and which leads to the need identification, and also you can say that you have a solution, that you have a tentative solution in your hand. And the second stage, the TRL2 and IRL2, is converting the basic research, what you have identified, what the solution you have identified and the technologies you have identified. Now you have to convert into a solution form, that is called applied research, and it has to be related to the, it has to be combined with the market research, and also you have to, through the market research, you have to define what is the kind of value proposition this solution is going to bring if it will be implemented, and also you have to say that what are the possible intellectual property associated with this applied research. And the ultimate output of IRL2 is called business plan development. And when you will move up to the TRL3 and IRL3, then the business plan have the, that you have developed in IRL2, and the value proposition and the intellectual properties you have identified in the IRL2. Now we have to confirm this value proposition, that this solution is going to work, and this is my value proposition. And because you've already conducted the market research, but now you have to study the techno-economic analysis of that innovation or that solution that you have developed, and you have to design a minimum product cost, that if this is my solution, then this is the minimum cost I will incur, and this is the core technologies, or this is the minimum technology I have to use, and this is the value proposition I will create for my customer. And the TRL4, what you have designed, what you have identified, what the product cost, and now you have to convert into, you have to ensure that it convert into a prototype, and it has to be validated in the lab scale, then or in the kind of a you have to test in the, you have to simulate, you have to validate all the things, all the specification in the lab setting. Then you have to go for the piloting one, either either in the controlled environment or in the community or the industry. You have to pilot it, and you have to test it that your process is up to the standard and ready for the commercialization. So these are the steps like TRL and MRL, but most of the venture capital, are very much interested to see that how IRL linked with TRL and MRL, and also these are the outputs expected from each stage of the IRL. So let's understand a bit about the funding connecting the investment readiness level with the funding stages. So mostly this TRL 1 and 2 or IRL 1 and 2 is typically the fundings they accept and they receive the funding, or they get the fundings from the government and academic grants, mostly because they said these are the research grants or they obtain from the agencies, government agencies. Mostly investors or the private parties, they're never interested in TRL 1 and 2, or the innovator has to spend the money from his own pocket. But for TRL 3 and 4, there are seed rounds. Now where there are various schemes from the DST, DBT, they provide the seed round. Once your concept is finalized, once the concept is proved, then you have to go for the seed rounds. And it is now most of the agencies, they have the seed funding. And TRL 5 and 7, there you can go for the investors funding, either angel investment or the VC fund. And mostly this ABC is the early stage of the investment fund. So mostly at the TRL 5 to 7, you can go for the investors, angel investor, the VC funding. And TRL 8 to 9, generally for you need lots of money, and for that you have to go for the bank loan or capital borrowing or kind of debt, credit funding from the various programs, and you have to, these are the kind of a mostly it is a kind of a lending money from the various financial institutions, where TRL 5-7 is more as investment, and TRL 7-3-4 is kind of a grant from the agencies. But TRL 1-2 is the self money, but own money you have to put, or you have to mobilize from your institute or from the professor or from the department to start with. So these are the linked funding stages linked with investment readiness level. And this is all about the IRL, TRL, and MRL. I hope given you a picture and a kind of a framework that how to use it, and you can search and you can get more detailed version of IRL, TRL, and MRL, and more and more things you will observe and you will understand. Then it will be very, very easy to apply in your technology development stage or the innovation, and also it will help you to get more into the business or commercialization of the startup things. So this is what this concept says, and I hope you have enjoyed, and I think I'm on time as per the time limit given to me, and this is all about the session. Thank you.
Great, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice.
Thank you very much, Dipan sir. The way you have clearly differentiated between TRLs and have taken us to the concepts and its implications was really amazing. One more thing which I would like to add is the passion and energy which has kept us so enthusiastic is commendable, is incredible. The way you have, with a lot of passion, you have spoken. So that is a really, really wonderful. Honorable Vice Chancellor is unable to join due to some urgent, unavoidable work. However, he has sent a message for all of us. I invite Dr. Ingule sir to read his message.
Okay, ma'am. So on behalf of Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, I'm reading his message, and he has promised that if possible tomorrow he will join in between the session also. So he had sent a message on behalf of the Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. It is my pleasure to welcome all the attendees for the virtual startup entrepreneurship bootcamp for idea stage entrepreneurs, which is scheduled today and tomorrow. This workshop is organized by SGBAU Research and Incubation Foundation of Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University and Innovation Entrepreneurship Startup Forum, IES. Innovation, be it in engineering and technology, entrepreneurship, or any other professional field, has become the beating heart that gives life to and maintains the relevance of every field in the current dynamic, ever-changing environment, and we cannot stay away from it in the current digital world. We always encourage the student to participate frequently in such a workshop and ask them to become a part of the solution for the future. The university will extend all possible help, support, and cooperation to the student to achieve their goals in the academics and make the indelible mark in their field of study. I request all the participants to help in building a better society and serve the community thereafter. I appreciate the participants about the facility provided by the university. Government of India to enable the innovators and the innovations along with the highlighting the importance of the innovations in the education during the current times, benefits and importance of the topics that will be discussed. I wish you the best experience, and with these words, I am pleased to announce that this workshop is inaugurated. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ingle sir. Thank you very much. Over to the question and answers session. There are a lot of questions which are coming up. I request Mr. Sopan Aghav. Can you hear us, Mr. Sopan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, to take away the Q&A session.
Thank you, Rakhi, ma'am. There are many questions from audience, but we will take selected questions. May I, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
May I ask one question?
Mr. Saurabh want to ask, sir, can we skip some TRLs for any exceptional products?
When we start studying, when we start our education from standard 1 and to reach to the standard 10, we have to go through the standard 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. We can't skip. If you will skip, then there is some chance of some missing. And in case of certain excellent, some extraordinary students, they acquire it through different process. In that case is different, but generally we don't skip from our standard 1 to standard 10 in our education, because we feel that if we will live, or if you skip certain standards, then we may lose some energy, some knowledge, and we will not able to connect. Our learning process will stop. Similarly, TRL 1 to TRL 10, TRL 9, actually it is man created. So it is nothing like it's defined somewhere. It is we have to define what is my TRL and what is my TRL 2 and what is. So when it is upon us, it is to us that how we are going to define what is my TRL 1 and TRL 2 and TRL 3 is very important, because when you are in the TRL 2 and TRL 3, it will give you a picture that what would be your TRL 9. So what would be your TRL 9, what is the technology and how it is going to, and what is the cost structure, everything you will get when you are at TRL 9, at TRL 2. It means your homework, your system and study, everything will be decided that actually you are following the process. Actually, you are a kind of a giving proper time and you have better understanding in the TRL 2 itself. Because TRL 2 will say that what will be in TRL 9. If you are not able to do it, that means still you are in you are not in the right path, right? So this is what TRL says. That TRL never says that you will skip or not skip. TRL says that what you are thinking, what you are following is as per the process or not, right? It will not tell you that if you will skip TRL 3 and 4, what will happen. This is not what. This is the not like your education that you will have to go through only first standard, second standard. This is something what you are thinking, what you are creating, and it is aligned with the process of development or not. It may or may not. See, sometimes if you think that in TRL 2 that your product will not reach TRL 9, then you have to take a call that, okay, you have to stop the process. You should not have to spend the time and money and the resources and just live in a daydreaming. So this is that. So it is a call of yours. You have to take a call. So I can't comment that you will skip or not skip. Generally, this is the TRL comes after your thinking. TRL not comes before thinking, right? What we are doing, you have to align with the TRL. You are getting my point?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, one more question from Dr. Kallurkar, sir. Is there any transition phase between TRL 1 and 2? and so on. Any research being done in this regard?
TRL 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
So again, let me clarify you all. Nothing like there is nothing like step one, like in ladder. When you go in a staircase, there is a step one, and only after this height there will be another stair will come. This is clearly visible, and we know that this is step one, this is step two, right? But in case of learning, in case of acquiring knowledge, in case of do you have anything like, see, now we have invented the clock. That's why you know now it is 12 o'clock, and after 1 second it is 1 o'clock. But generally those have no clock, those don't know how to watch it. For them, whole day night is continuous process. Similarly, your innovation development, your idea is a continuous process, just to make you feel that what we are doing, and it is, you should not get into the direction which is not useful, or it's a kind of a waste of you are not to spend your resources and the money in a other way. That's why we came up with TRL 1, and it says that okay, up to this is TRL 1, up to TRL 2, but there is some overlap also exists. You cannot say that it is like in clock, there is exactly 1 second difference is there between the 12.59 to 13, right? But in TRL, it is not like this. In TRL, actually, there is some overlap do exist, and it will exist also. There is no system to make it 100%, but if you will follow the features, if you will follow the guidelines, if you will follow the differentiating factors, then you will be able to only classify and differentiate up to 50 to 60%, but not beyond that, right? So this is the what, but still that 60% clarification gives you a better picture of your progress.
Yes, thank you, sir. Sir, one last question is from Mr. Rupesh. Mr. Rupesh want to ask that, sir, the TRL and MRL concept, can we use this in service industry?
You can use. See, service industry also, sometimes actually the word prototype we are getting attached with the technology or the hardware technology. But prototype, in case of in the IRL, that's why this IRL is more on the startups and having the service industry also. So what we have to convert, we have to see that what are the synonyms or what are the proxy of prototype that we can use in the service industry. So it is just a understanding that you have to see that if TRL1 is the basic research, then we have to say that what is the basic research means in service industry. When it is kind of a TRL2, it is called the applied in the concept. Then what we have to say that what is the meaning of the applied research and the concept in related to the service industry. So we have to just develop the proxy of the TRLs for the technology and the hardware technology, and we have to convert into the service part one. But mostly almost the process is same. So we have to only, the more and more you will understand the process, then you will be able to define better way. And as I said, that TRL is a communication tool. TRL is a development roadmap preparation. The technology readiness level will not make you, it is the reflection of your thought. It only gives a direction of your approach. It will not make sure that you will success. You will become a successful if you will have developed one TRL. Implementation of TRL or following through the S part of the TRL may help. It may help you, but simply developing a TRL that doesn't mean that you will get success, right?
Thank you, sir. It was very informative, knowledgeable session for all of us. There are many questions, but sir, we will consolidate that and we will mail to you. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Rakhi ma'am for further proceeding.
Ma'am, no
voice.
No voice, no audio from your side.
Hear me?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sopan sir and Dipan sir. All the people who have more questions, we are happy to take your questions. Please send us on email. Before we move to the last part of the session, vote of thanks, I request all the attendees to please switch on your cameras. We know this is a new
Photoshop.
normal, and please switch on your cameras for us to
Photoshop.
keep these moments in our memory. For a moment, please switch on your cameras. For a moment.
Everybody.
Everybody, please. These are the memories. We will show Dipan sir again. This is a new normal. So those who are missed will not get a certification.
This is now new condition.
So I'm taking a screenshot. Guys, say cheese, smile, and be innovative. Happy entrepreneurship and happy innovation.
Yeah, finished.
One second, sir. I'm going to screen too.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Once more, say cheese, smile, be innovative. We have Sachin Tendulkar also here as a DP.
Is it?
Yeah. So that's what wonderful DPs we are getting. That's being innovative. Yes, sir. Thank you. I invite Mr. Sanjay Jagtap to give away the vote of thanks. Mr. Sanjay?
Yes, madam. Thank you. Thank you, Dipan sir, for giving a valuable and a very insightful session on understanding the concept of technology readiness level, manufacturing readiness level, and investment readiness level. That we briefly, I will take on the points that how design the technology development path for innovation, how to identify the measures for set of manufacturing unit, the funding stages as per readiness level. So some highlighting point really help for the budding entrepreneurs and the startups. So at the beginning, some calls are distracted me, so not possible to introduce, and that Dr. Rakshi Sharma madam has continued. Thank you. First of all, on behalf of IES Forum, as being a core team member, I will specially thanks for Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. Because from inception of IES Forum, from last 1 year, we are implemented the initiative in collaboration with the institutes at different cities, Pune, Mumbai, all these, because our objective is to create and develop innovation and startup ecosystem. And our vision is also to develop a regional level, a local innovation and startup ecosystem to generate a social impact. Now this idea or a startup initiative, IES Forum, that we are laying the foundations under the guidance of eminent advisory members. The Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University has provided opportunity and support to our initiative to develop it effectively, to make it reality as a startup. SGBAU Research and Incubation Center, MOU's Institution Innovation Council, in collaboration, jointly, we are organized the Startup Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for idea stage entrepreneurs. Definitely, this initiative will help IES Forum to make it effectively in a regional level, that is for the future initiatives of the forum. And especially thanks for this, that the faculty members of IES Forum, they are actively supporting us from the beginning to till from their respective city by finding innovators, involving the students and faculty from their respective institutes. I especially thanks from university, Dr. D.T. Ingole sir, Director, Innovation Incubation Linkages. They have from initiation they are supported us and guided us, because considering as a Amravati region, we are planned this initiative, and Dr. D.T. Ingole sir, from beginning to end, they are guided us. Thanks to them, Dr. V.M. Thakre, head of the Computer Science and Engineering Department, they really supported and helped us. So on behalf of last, I will specially thanks to all the participants, students, faculty, industry professionals, research scholars, and the budding entrepreneurs. Thank you all for your participations, and we're looking forward for the day 2 sessions. Definitely, Honorable VC sir, due to unavoidable reasons, not possible to attend. We definitely they will attend for the second day. And we also thanks Honorable VC sirs. They are given a message to us, and really from beginning they are with permission, and they are supported us for the IES Forum initiative. Thank you all. And last but not least, thank you Dipan sir once again for our accepting and giving a valuable guidance to the participants.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And really, IES Forum, we need your guidance ahead, because we know all over India, IISc networks is there, and your expertise will definitely help us for IES Forum to how to go step by step ahead in forming the chapters. And I would get a guidance. We are taking a guidance from the advisory board members. Definitely in future, we will communicate with you, and under the guidance of MOE's Institution Innovation Council, it's possible to make a good way that we proceed for development of innovation and startup ecosystem. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.